This is my recipe for Zuppa Tuscana that they sell at Olive Garden. It's a pretty good soup. It's a hearty potato soup. And these are the ingredients you will need. Some hot Italian sausage and some sweet Italian sausage. And Johnsonville here in the US is the brand I can purchase easily. You'll need a bulb of garlic, just 2 cloves. You'll need a medium-sized onion, white or yellow, doesn't matter. You'll need 8 to 10 small red potatoes. You will not be peeling these. And you'll need kale, about 2 to 3 leaves, depending on how big the leaves are. And you'll need some heavy whipping cream. This is like the secret ingredient. You'll need 48 ounces of chicken broth. That's about 8 cups. And you'll need about 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil twice in this recipe. Now, I have some tips for new cooks. When you have potatoes that look like this, those are just the eyes. There's nothing wrong with the potato. Just cut the eyes off. Use a paring knife and slice it through. And you can do this to all the potatoes. Just make sure the potato skins are not wrinkly. If they're wrinkly, you don't really want to use them. Now you'll cut up the potatoes and cut them in half and lay the flat side down and cut through the potato lengthwise. And then you'll turn it just a little bit and you'll cut it the other way so you get these long cube-like things. Now, put the potatoes over in a bowl, and you're going to run water over them, and that's to keep them from turning black. You need to have them under water. Run your hand through the water, and the starch from the potatoes will come to the top, so just drain it off. It's all right. Just drain that starch off, and then run water until the potatoes are clear. Now, garlic, what's a bulb and what's a clove? A bulb is the entire garlic piece. A clove are the little individual pieces of garlic. And how do you cut an onion? Well, since it's round, it's a little difficult to master cutting. So just cut off the stem end and turn it so that that flat side that you just cut is on your cutting board. And you'll slice right through the root end. Cut it in half. This makes it easier to peel the onion. So just peel it back a little and tear it away from the root end. Leave the root end intact. You're going to cry no matter what. Cut the onion, slice up the onions lengthwise, widthwise, whatever. And then turn the onion and hold it in your hand firmly and then start cutting the other way. And this is called a rough chop. And you don't have to dice this into small pieces. Okay, now back to the recipe. Put your pot, you're going to need only 1 pot to cook this. Put it on your stove on medium heat. I use 5. I have an electric one. So I use 5 to start off with and then turn it down to 4. Add about 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil into the pot to heat it up. You're going to need 2 links of sweet Italian sausage and 2 links of the hot. And cut the casing. Just run the tip of your knife down the length of the casing to split it. And then with your fingers, peel the casing off. And do that to all 4 pieces. Now, you don't need to cut, just pinch off pieces of the sausage from the link. Get them, just kind of little pieces. You don't have to make them really, really small. And then just take them over and put them in the heated pot. And leave them alone for just a little bit, a minute or 2. And then you'll notice when they give them a little stir to make sure they're not sticking to the bottom. Now, if you want the pieces smaller, here's my tip. Get a potato masher. Stick it down in the pot, press it really hard into the meat, and twist. Now, you're going to remove the sausage from the pan and let the grease drain off with a slotted spoon and transfer the sausage into a little bowl. And you'll just keep it there and set it aside. And take the pan off the heat because you're going to want to remove the grease that's in the pan. The grease color is red because of the spices and things used in the sausage. So get some paper towels and just clean the grease out. Now you'll add a little more olive oil to the pan, and now you'll stick in the onions and the chopped garlic. Peel the 2 cloves of garlic and then chop them up kind of small. And they don't have to be exactly diced. And then add the garlic to the onions and let them cook for a while until they start to turn a little bit brown and they get translucent. From the chicken stock, you're going to take 1/4 cup and you're going to deglaze the pan and just pour it in there and stir the onions and garlic around and watch for the liquid to start to simmer a little bit. Now add the meat back into the pan and you'll stir it around into the onions and the garlic and let that cook up for just a minute or two. And then add the rest of the package of chicken broth, the entire package. And then give that a good stir, get everything kind of mixed in good. And then almost 2 cups of water add to the pot. Give it a stir. Now you're going to let this come to a simmer. And what the heck is kale? That's the next thing we're going to be working with. It's a really frilly, leafy vegetable, whatever. Rinse it really good under running water because there's places for little buggies to hide. And you're going to turn the leaf upside down, exposing the vein, and you'll cut along the main vein on both sides. And then just pile the kale on top of each other. And you're going to roll it so you can ribbon cut it. Just grab one end and start rolling it towards you. And get it rolled into I don't know, just get it all rolled up. And then start slicing through. And you'll have these ribbons of kale. And you can do this depending on how much you like kale. It doesn't have a strong taste. Just use as much as you like. And I've only used 2 leaves. Check your pot, see if it's simmering. And a simmer is when it's yeah, what the heck does a simmer mean? It's light bubbles that are coming. It's not a big rolling boil. When you see the water coming, the liquids coming to a simmer, drain your potatoes and then put your diced potatoes over into your pot, and be careful you don't splash yourself with the hot water. And then add the kale. Stir this around, and then you're going to set your timer for 15 minutes. It's a little hard for me to take pictures of all of this stuff as I go along. At the end of 15 minutes, check your potatoes to see if they're fork tender. And when they are, then you'll add the heavy whipping cream. And just pour it in, stir it around, and let the soup come back to a little bit of a simmer. And then take it off the heat and scoop it up and enjoy.